Good morning. What a great day. What a great day to know that you guys are journeying through life and making the most of it. It is such a treat to be able to think about life in a positive way. I think the name keeping it positive with Keith is kind of lame, but I did that all in a quick moment. But just keeping it positive with Jesus is even a better thing than Keith, because Keith doesn't get it right all the time, but Jesus, he's the real deal. I was planning on kind of going silent for a little bit while I'm traveling. Traveling in the RV is always an adventure, and I didn't know when I'd be able to talk to you guys. I could talk to you yesterday. I just was a little distracted, not in a horribly terrible way, just busy. And then our plans were changed, and so I learned a bunch of lessons yesterday. And so I thought I would go over one of them with you guys and share it with you. As in James 1:2, he says, "Count it all joy when you are encountering various trials." So, count it all joy. Uh, it's Anybody ever want to punch James? I don't know. The difficulties that come along, he says, count them all joy. And so um, I just wondered, can you really count it all joy? Like yesterday, it was a muggy day. We were heading towards the west with thoughts towards Montana in our RV, and we were 3 hours into the trip, and we were compelled to stop and get some gas, and the RV wouldn't fire back up. So then we were compelled to get a mechanic, and the story got even better and better. So in a first day of our journey, and we believe the journey is more important than the destination anyway. So we got to our destination yesterday and learned a lot. But in that first day of our journey, it was just a hot, muggy day. The trip was interrupted 3 hours into it. The mechanic, while we were sitting under a shade tree in the lawn chairs, kind of waiting, the mechanic was screaming and yelling, which is not a good sign that progress is being made. Someone stole some money from me. Our plans were just totally disrupted. And I looked around, and my family didn't have an attitude of disruption. They just understood that when you are traveling in a big mechanical box, this is just part of the journey. And we travel around in this fleshly box that we call an earth suit or a body, and bad things are going to happen. It's just part of the journey. And you and I have the choice when things go wrong with this body that we can just get out of control and scream and yell. My mechanic was really cool. When he started screaming and yell, he finally crawled out from under the RV, and I walked over to see him. He goes, no, 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 stay there. I'm coming over to you. I'm going to sit down in the shade tree. He said, I found out a long time ago that when I start acting like that, I just need to get out, come sit down, cool off, gather my composure, and think about it. And I thought, what a great lesson. You could pay thousands of dollars for that kind of training and executive training, and I got it for just the cost of a mechanic to fix my RV. And so having watched my family respond to a uncomfortable day, I came up with some revelations about why I could count it all joy. First of all, we were safe. We were sitting in a safe place in the shade watching somebody else fix our RV. Secondly, we had a mechanic. It took us 2 hours of waiting for a mechanic to get there. We could still be waiting today. And so we had a mechanic. Thirdly, we were only 3 hours away from home. I discovered that I had locked the bikes onto the bike rack and hadn't brought the key to the lock. So our daughter was able to come over and bring the key to the lock. And she was also able to, once we discovered what we needed to do, to take some of the family members home in the car rather than in the RV. And then fourthly, we were sitting in America, in Illinois, in lawn chairs, under a shade tree, staring at our RV. I had to stop and think about it. We were staring at our RV, and we all have a choice what we see. I saw that we were staring at our RV, not that we were staring at our broken RV. We were staring at our RV. And I later was reflecting on this when I told a friend the story, that we were just sitting there staring at our RV. And I said, our RV is better than a lot of people's houses. And he quickly said, yeah, probably your RV is nicer than maybe a billion people's RVs. And I started laughing because I didn't want to really get into debate with it, but it's an old one. It's a 2003 RV, but it's probably, I haven't traveled the world much, but I've seen pictures, and I would say our RV is nicer than 4 billion people's houses. I don't know if that's a fact. That's just me thinking about the houses I've seen. So I'm sitting staring at a place where I could live temporarily or permanently, and it's nicer than half the world's homes. And I have the choice right then. Can I be angry that it's not working right, or be thankful that I have even this possibility to have this experience? And so we all have the choice today to frame whatever's going on in our world whichever way we want. But I encourage you, count it all joy. Jesus loves you.